loads of women that I have dated and that I've encountered, they're on the birth control, and then roughly 25 to 30, this PCOS, which basically makes women infertile, I think is running rampant in women 25 plus. So you're on birth control, you're getting plowed harder than a field in Saskatchewan, having all the endless fun, racking up mileage, becoming hardened. You want to get pregnant. Oops, you can't because you're not fertile anymore because you have PCOS, because the birth control destroyed your fertility. Doesn't that sound lovely? Well, I guess we can collect dogs now. And the reality is, ladies, I'm sorry. If a woman cannot offer me kids, there is zero value. Zero value at all. What are we going to do? Talk about Vampire Diaries? We're going to watch Love Island together? No. We can throw the baseball in the backyard? There's no value being offered my way. Women also that are fertile, and I don't know if you've ever heard of this, I discovered this recently, this too posh to push movement, where they've decided, unless you're going to get me a very nice expensive car or a very nice home or a very nice present, I'm not having my own kids. I'm too posh to push. We can adopt. Why do I want somebody else's used kids? Why would I get some fossilized piece of dinosaur shit, spend 3 months' salary on it, get married and walk into the slaughterhouse, just for you to give me somebody else's kids? What an absolute scam. And you know the thing is too, we'll talk about marriage as well, we'll shift topics here. With marriage, the amount of men that I know that I played hockey with growing up, played hockey with a pro, and they are doing the humiliation ritual, they're getting down on one knee, and we're talking good-looking dudes that literally look like Chads, right? I'm not a Brad, I'm not a Chad, I'm not a Prince Charming. These dudes are genuine Chads. Great jawline, great hair. Some of them have found their footing and got some great careers, even guys that I went to high school with and played hockey with here in Winnipeg growing up. And these guys just march into the slaughterhouse. She's my world. She is my everything. She is my best friend. She's my partner, because we're going to open up a lemonade stand together because apparently we're equal. Men and women are the same, which no, they're not. And then you wonder why 7 years she takes you to the divorce machine, to the cleaners, because you walked into the slaughterhouse. Oh, I love my wife. Boom. Half your shit. Alienated from the kids. And if men knew that women initiate 90% of divorces when they're university educated, and I've never met a woman in my now 30 years of life that is not university educated. They initiate divorce 90% of the time. And of those divorces, 50% of them result in you losing half your shit and never seeing your kid. She gets sole custody. Does that sound like a good idea when you're making those Instagram posts as an absolute beta male, telling everybody, announcing to the world, she's my everything, she's my best friend? You can love a woman, you can live with a woman with a cohabitation agreement and a good lawyer, you can put kids in a woman, you can have all the fun with your woman. I can do everything with a woman that you can do, but I don't have to get married to do it. What an absolute trap. Literally like sliding Mark Carney and the boys into bed. There's you, Mark Carney, and your wife. And you know the worst part is too, all of you men that get married, you become beta plow horses. Would you like to go out to a baseball game this weekend? I got to talk to my wife. I think I'm going to build a man cave. I got to talk to my wife first. We make fun of it on this channel. As men, we are natural leaders. Deferring to your wife for leadership is beta male behavior. I gotta ask my wife. No, make a decision. Make the executive decision. Have some freelance control. And you wonder why your wife doesn't respect you and runs your show. You know what I don't have as a problem? I have not had a woman in a very long time try to test me like that. Because you know what happens when they do? I send them packing or I correct them and they are immediately fixed. You don't have to be big, mean, and scary. You just say, listen, sweetheart, I don't like XYZ. You're welcome to continue doing that, but I can't take you seriously if you're going to do that. So you now must make the decision. Do you want me to take you seriously, or do you want to continue this decision that you're making and this behavior that you're making? And she can make the rules. She can decide herself. Women love autonomy, making their own decisions. And she can decide now, is she going to be recreational use only, and am I going to use her for practice reps, getting my touches, staying hot, stick on the ice, or am I to take you seriously and talk and look about family? Simple as that. If she ain't going to listen to you with stuff like this, why would she ever listen to you under the context of having a family and how you want to raise kids? I've used this analogy. Mike Fisher, former captain of the Nashville Predators, Ottawa Senators, NHL player, married to Carrie Underwood. She got some backlash a couple months ago because she said, we don't do the alphabet soup calendars, we don't do the alphabet soup cartoons or any of that nonsense. We do spankings and discipline in our house with our kids. And the only reason Mike Fisher is able to enforce that is because she backs him. If the woman does not back you and pretty much fall in line to your leadership, you cannot execute your plan as a man to father and to parent as you want, because the woman holds all the cards in the house. The deck is stacked against you in the family court system, and if you do not believe me, go sit in an afternoon of family divorce court and find out firsthand how they treat men. They say women women are the oppressed sex. You're going to find out how oppressed you as a man are, and you get absolutely bent over. No spit, no lube. Have a good day, and learn how to take it. And here's the thing, too. I was dating a gal who's 30, and she was trying to put the boots to me. I want to be married. I want a big ring. I want a big wedding day. And I just told her, no, that is not going to happen. If you want to be with me, you can be with me, or you can leave. And she threw a tantrum, hissy fit, blah, 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 pretended to be upset. We ended up splitting. Now, most of the women that I've dated have gotten fat and covered in sticker book tattoos. She got a whole face job. So, different kind of midlife crisis. You know what my solution to that was? I started dating somebody 10 years younger. I'm telling you, as a man, now 30, you know what the biggest conundrum that I have is, do I want to date women born in 1997 or 2007? That is the biggest problem that I have. And most men are not told this, because as a man in your early 20s, you are taught that it is very hard to come by women that want to give you a shake. They want to give you to entertain you at all. So if you get married, things are going to get better. You're going to get a lot more action. You get none of the things that you want. I don't know any couples that live together and are happily married, happily together. It's an absolute scam. Now, let's talk about feminism on your daughter, because having kids is the main purpose. I know I monologued a bit for this, but I want to kind of get back to the main root of the issue. Feminism is what they're going to sell your daughter. And I'm not talking about turning your daughter into a whore. We're talking turning your daughter into a turbo whore. She hates men, disrespects men, does not follow the leadership of a good man. She does not respect your wishes as a father, racks up all the countless mileage to waste her most fertile years, and then you wonder why she's going through a divorce at 32, 33, 34 with one kid, and you got to help fund it, or have her living in your house while she has Chad come over and rearrange her guts when you're not home going on grocery shopping, right? As a man, I would argue I could put kids in 1,000 women today, and I will still be more important to the development of my kids, specifically a daughter, than any of the women ever will be, because we live in a time where men have not been men for such a long time. And the amount of daddy issues that modern women have are solely linked, directly correlated to the men, not being masculine role models, not being leaders, not showing their daughters this is what a good man is. You don't got to be mean, big, and scary. Command respect, because you are going to be respect worthy. And we'll get to respect worthy and what does that mean in a moment or two. But this is such a problem. And again, hypergamy. Women want the best that they can do. I was a 6'5", tall, handsome, humble, and sexy ex-professional hockey player. I have seen hypergamy at its best. They are setting rules for you, these women. Their daddy issues are having them come for some fun and some recreational use with me. I saw it firsthand. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And all of those women, they would not be there having the encounter they were having with me if their fathers were the real men they were supposed to be. And it is solely on you. And it is solely on me, because I know you can't be tall, handsome, humble, and sexy ex-athlete and not get daughters. The man upstairs is going to test me and say, all right, tough guy, let's see it. No sons for you. Here's 3 daughters. Show me what you're made of. Show me how skilled and talented you are. And I say to the man upstairs, you know what, sir? I am ready. I am prepared. I have seen this. I am ready to be. I'm going to give my daughters the love, the attention, the validation, and the nourishment that they need, because no men in the dating pool is going to do that. And I'm going to build strong, confident daughters that make good decisions that are in the best interest of the family name. Now, we could talk about abortions, and I've said before, and I found these stats. I found these stats on Stats Canada. This is what the government is admitting in Canada, not the actual numbers. Since the year 2000, there have been 8.1 million new babies. There have also been 3.3 million abortions. There have been over 25% of all pregnancies in this communist country since the year 2000 have been the mothers headshotting their future kids, scooping them out like a cantaloupe. I'm going to be honest. There's nothing wrong with admitting this. Growing up, I thought pro-choice was cool. When I saw the ultrasound video of what they do to the baby, oh my goodness, I could not unsee what I saw. And also, if you have ever dated women that have had abortions, and again, I have seen this as well, there is a scarring in their eye, in their soul deep down, and they will never admit this. You just have to be able to see it and identify it. They are scarred inside. Maybe it's some type of like subconscious programming of the body resenting itself, saying, somebody stole my baby from me, and there is a void that you just cannot fix as a man. Like, there are very, very few instances where I would co-sign that. Like, if the mother's life is at risk, I would say, save the mother, we can have more kids, right? And I would also argue that having the mother around as well is just as important as the father. They need the yin, the yang, the peanut butter, and the jelly. If you have the mother gone, and as great as a father as I would be, you need both to be around. So that is one instance. There's two others that I can think of, but that might get me taken off of YouTube. So we'll leave that. We'll park that at the side. But what a scam! Women's empowerment to scar your daughter with endless fun and robbing her of the greatest joy. You ask my mother, if I parked her right down here, what is the greatest thing that you've ever done in your life? She would say, having kids. My kids are the greatest thing that has ever happened to me. And women, my career is important. No, they're just getting you to waste your 30s working for the government, building a soul-crushing non-profit career, and then freezing your eggs like frozen peas at 30, that you're going to get them out of the freezer at 39 and find out, oh, oops, I'm infertile. Guess we got to do IVF, which is a $50 billion industry that they've psyoped you into coming into because the birth control has made you infertile. On top of, they've made women so entitled that you have to have the nicest house, the nicest car. You got to have new ones every couple of years.